MemberPress have recently released a couple of very exciting new features for users of their membership plugin that they are calling ClubSuite. So ClubSuite is essentially two main types of new functionality. Those are member directories, so it's club directory, and forums, like on-site social media-esque forums and groups that they're calling club circles. So in this video, I'm going to take a very quick look at them, let you know my thoughts, and show you around the new ClubSuite features. These are very exciting for me because most memberships will need some sort of community, and up till now the options for something that's native to WordPress have been fairly limited. You either need to go with something hugely all-in like BuddyBoss, or you use something really basic like MemberPress, or you have to use a third-party tool, either something like Circle, the app Circle, Envision Community Suite, which we use in Membership Academy, Facebook groups, but something that's not integrated. So it's very exciting to have these new options announced, but let's see whether they stack up. So first and foremost, these new features are included for anyone on the growth license for MemberPress. So anyone on their launch license, which is their entry level, will not get those features, but if you have growth or scale, then you will get the new ClubSuite forums, directories and profiles. So let's dig in. So once you've got the add-ins and everything installed on your site, it's very easily done just in the admin section for the add-on section for MemberPress. Then you can set up directories, you can set up your profiles, set up your circles. So if we take a look at the settings for creating a directory, then you'll see they actually have quite a number of options. So MemberPress released something called CoachKit a while ago, and while it was an interesting set of functionality, the options are fairly limited, but I was quite surprised by the control that we have with ClubSuite. So when you're creating or editing a directory, you have the ability to customize the actual layout to a much higher degree than I thought. So if we go in here, and we'll actually see the preview of the template that's used. If we click on this top area where we can play around with the filters, then we can toggle on. Do we want people to be able to search? What kind of filters do we want? Location? Do we want people to filter by role, membership level, and so on? We can then also customize the design. So how many columns do we want? How do we want to order our users? How many users per page? So all really simply customizable. So you can order by name, registration date, ascending, descending, and yeah, decide, do we want 2 people in a row, 3 people in a row, which, yeah, it's quite cool. And then in the actual card itself, so in the actual profile listing, as I've just, messed that up. So the actual profile itself, we can click into little elements of the cards that will show, so the user listings in the directory. We can click on these and say, okay, so how big do we want their profile image to be? Should it link to the profile? Do we want their full name shown? Do we want a display name, first name only, username? Like how do we want the view profile button? What should that say? So we can kind of, again, you can drag stuff around as you're seeing by me messing around. Or can we actually edit this? Okay, that doesn't actually look like we can. Strange. Other than that, like little things like that, I'm curious as to the decision. Even being able to customize, what links we show there. So we'll show the website, we'll turn off X because who uses X now? Size of the icons, how do we want that to be? Do we go color? Do we go with a custom? Yeah, like this is a much higher level of customization than I would have imagined for something that is a brand new feature. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I'm curious whether, it's a shame this one actually doesn't seem to give us too many options. We can tweak the colors and stuff like that. That's great. It's a little odd that we can't change the wording of view profile. It's also frustrating how this is the WordPress editor. This isn't the MemberPress thing. It's frustrating how easily dragged around stuff is. But hey, so yeah, we can play around, customize, completely throw everything up. yeah, even down to whether we're using icons. So the level of customization is surprising. And that's not a criticism of MemberPress. It's just I know this is an extremely early stage thing. And yeah, you can customize which members will actually show on this directory page by default. So we can have multiple different directory pages set up, and we can set them to only show people at a certain membership level. We could set them to only show people from a certain country. We could set it to only show people with a certain role. So if we want to show all of the admins on the site, if you want to show us like a team profile. So yeah, you can play around with all these different customizable settings. And yeah, then when we look on the front end, you'll see all your users would appear on this page. And you see we can change the layout when people are viewing the directory. So this is how it looks on the front end. So they can go between the cards, or they can go into a stacked thing. We can then, again, the front end, choose the different filters. So if we just want to show certain membership levels, if we wanted to filter down according to country, we can do all of that. And we can also search for our users here. And then when we click through, all the users on the site will have a profile now when you've got this installed. So again, if you really want that social element for your membership, this is a really cool little enhancement. And yeah, your members can customize the profile. So we'll see they can upload a custom profile image, as I have here. They can click to edit, and they can make the profile private if they want, so it doesn't appear in directories. They can change how their name, their location shows. They can add social media accounts, so they can set things to actually show different social media accounts. Yeah, you can toggle on, toggle off different social media accounts. That will appear on your page. And then if we update, there we go. So yeah, that's really cool. And what we can also do as admins is we, just like we can with the directories, we can edit the layout of these profiles. So we can determine what goes where, how they actually show up. So again, we'll see this is accessible from the admin menu, or just clicking edit on any profile. And you can play around with the different elements. So with cover photos, you can select, okay, if someone uploads a larger photo than the area, then we decide which part of that image we actually focus on, which is really cool, right? We can decide, should the cover be like short or not too high? Should it be sort of medium? Should it be quite tall? So we'll set ours to tall. If we're going to have a little overlay, like, yeah, there's so many cool little customizations that, again, I wouldn't expect, because it's very granular. I wouldn't expect with something this early stage. And yeah, let's see. Right, so yeah, we can kind of choose with our profile picture block. Is that giving us any options? Not really. Which is a little odd. Profile photo. Nope, no options with the profile photo. We can't change the sizing around that. So that's maybe something to come. I'm not so sure. But then, yeah, we got the different sections. So what is a bit odd, if we go back to the profile, so I don't have an intro on there, but the layout says I should have an intro here. And it looks like you can actually add multiple profile sections as well. So if I was to duplicate that, I wonder if I'd get to decide. No, I'm just messing around. But again, that's the thing. You can mess around with these different features. Cool. So this is meant to be the user profile. I'm going to play around and see what's going on with that. But presumably we can add into this section as well. So we go with like a profile section, profile information, profile name, profile user fields. So one in there, drag that in here, maybe. Cool, yeah, so we can add in other user fields. So we could put in a business name there, for example. Okay, still no information, but you'll see that the cover's changed there. I'm curious as to why the intro thing isn't there, because when I go to edit, it obviously has some fields there, but there's nothing there for the bio. Let me see. Let's get back to my profile. All right. Okay, so we come into the actual WordPress user editor, and this is some info about me. Yeah. Okay, that's not amazing. That isn't great. Yeah, because of course not everyone, like when someone registers for your site, they're not going to fill in a bio, right? You presumably have to have somewhere for them to put that in there. Do I have a business name field in the back end? A business name, we do digital, sweet. Okay, so I would hope that this is gonna maybe change in the future, because let's see. Okay, now there's a bio. I can click and edit it. There's nowhere where I can edit the business name or the country or anything like that. So these are definitely things that I would hope would be improved in future versions, because yeah, like to have part of the page that can be edited by the user on the page in the way you'd expect, but then to have other fields that show on the page where they have to go into the WordPress user editor interface, which a lot of membership plugins, you actually lock people out of that. That's not ideal, but the foundations are there and hopefully that'll be improved. All right, so we've got our profiles. Next thing we're going to take a look at are circles. So the circles are the kind of forums, social media groups, like on-site community. They very much seem modeled after the more modern kind of communities. So we go to our circles page, you'll see we can have multiple different circles. So these could be based on different categories or topics or interests or user segment or something like that. When we've got multiple, we can order them, we can search them, but let's just click through and actually view what we're talking about. So this is a circle. It's a fairly basic circle. And yeah, you've got the feed there, which just kind of a bit like a Facebook feed, right? You post things. So here are some thoughts on the world. You can even attach an image by the looks of it. Cool. Let's just grab an image. Just the first image I can get, which is sadly a picture of me. Click on submit post, and yeah, that'll just add it into the feed. Oh, there we go. Great. Yeah. So it just, again, modeled on social media. People can comment, people can like, and yeah, fairly straightforward, but just what you need if you want your community to be quite straightforward. We'll see we have a rules section where it has guidelines for how the circle works. And as an admin, I can view the different members. I can add members in there. Although even though I'm a member, it's not showing me in that list, which is an odd one. I can also moderate. So if there are reported items, then I can take action. And then we can tinker with settings as well. So users can be notified whenever there's any new posts, any comments. So actually out of the box, it's a pretty, again, fairly powerful for a WordPress-based option, but adds pretty cool community functionality. And if we actually go into the admin backend, again, we can set an image for the circle. We have a place where we can set our circle rules. So when we looked at the rules there, that's administered in the back end. So we can put anything we need in there. And there are some settings around who can create posts, who can comment. So you could have a one where, you know, only you as an admin can write the post, but they can comment. Can members edit their own posts? Can they edit comments? Can they delete? Can they upload images? Can they share links? So again, lots of controls over what members can and can't do. And this is on a per circle basis. So you can have a section which is a bit more tightly controlled and a section which is a little looser for just broad conversation. We can mute members, ban members. We also have the option of making our circle communities member only. So we can set them to be public so everyone can actually see it. And we can have a specific link that someone can go and register to join. So we can send them to a MemberPress registration page. We can automatically add members to the circle once they activate certain membership levels as well, which is really cool, or based on their role. We can automatically remove members if their membership expires. So that's pretty cool as well. We can set it so you have to be logged in to even see the circle, or you have to be a member of a specific membership level, or you can just hide a circle completely. So yeah, again, lots of really strong functionality and options out of the box for what is a fairly straightforward community, but certainly one that's modeled on modern community platforms. What I would say is probably missing a little bit is maybe a bit more structure in terms of the categories. So yes, you can have multiple different circles, but it'd be pretty cool if you maybe, if you have multiple circles, you have them listed down the left hand side, or you have a master feed. So a bit like you see on the app Circle, where you have the different sections, but you can click into the different sections and you'll always have a list down this left hand side, and you also have a master feed that shows everything from one section. So yeah, as it stands out the box, again, for someone who needs something fairly simple, something that's a little bit more social media inspired, then this gets, like, if you're a MemberPress user already and you don't want to have to bring a new piece of functionality, a new plugin into the mix, then this is a really cool option as well. So all told, this is a very, very exciting addition to the MemberPress ecosystem. We've now got stuff for coaches, we've got stuff for courses, we've got stuff for profiles, directories, communities, and of course that's all backed by MemberPress, which is a fantastic membership plugin as well. So it's a very exciting addition. It's definitely early stage, like it's only been out for a month, but for something that is early stage, it is a lot more powerful, a lot more flexible and customizable than I would expect. I'm very excited for what that might mean going forward, and I can't wait to see how they build on both the directories, the profiles. The main things I feel that are needed are on the member experience side of things, on consistency around how you edit certain things, where you go to edit things. So all in all, very happy with this, very excited what it means for MemberPress users, and I can't wait to see how this continues to develop and improve going forward.